Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Pete Produces. I thought this one was going to go relatively quickly. Thought I'd make a little short one because a couple of these have kind of stretched into the hour-long range. But I've had this idea recently that I wanted. I'm really interested in non-functional harmony, and as such, I love the Chrono Trigger soundtrack because Yasunari Mitsuda utilizes non-functional harmony in so many of the really iconic um, themes of Chrono Trigger, and I like taking little bits of that and taking it out and playing with it. So there's been a bit that I have loved for a long, long time, and it's called "A Prayer for the Wayfarer," and it's if you go into Minoria Cathedral and you go to the end of it before you go into the dungeon and you press the organ, it will play this 3 chord little ditty that the first chord is a measure, the second chord is a measure, and the third chord is 2 measures or thereabouts, beats, however you want to measure it. But it's beautiful, and it kind of functions. It's I don't think this one is technically non-functional, but it definitely has a very sort of floaty, decentered kind of idea to it. So what I did is I looked up those chords and I got as close of an approximation to them as I could, and this is what we're going to be working with. So, that is that's our little bit here, and I think it's like just barely not on. Well, maybe. Yeah. See, it just kind of like. See if this. See if we can line this up a little bit more easily. Because I have a completely unscientific way of doing this. And there we go. So, what I wanted to do, that's an A flat minor 7. Ba, 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 ba. So that's like a 4 5 1 sort of. Um, but it doesn't really like A flat minor 7 would be more like a da 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 da. Yeah, it doesn't. It kind of has a 4-5-1 feel in the bass, but it's not really a 4-5-1 because we're doing a minor 7 and then a major 7, and it's a G flat major 7 over B flat. So even the bass note is different technically. I just my chord maker wasn't complex enough to put that over B flat in, and then it finishes on an E flat minor 7, add 9, which I was also not able to get that full chord in there. So it's missing little pieces, but what I want to do is really play around with this and try to create some melodies that go into this, that also kind of play a little bit with the Minoria Cathedral theme, which kind of does a. I wonder if I could. Let's plug in here. Nope, gotta open up my. Ba ba boo ba 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 ba. So it's like an E flat minor. So this resolves, this bit resolves on E flat minor 7 add 9, but the 7 add 9 makes it sound, in comparison to the A flat minor 7, almost makes it feel major. It makes it feel like a resolution, even though it's kind of not. Like it is. It's weird that it's like it doesn't live in that minor key tonality. That almost has that Picardy third kind of idea, like keeping that high note and keeping that chord raised, but it's not on the third. So it almost kind of like tricks your mind into keeping out of a straight up minor key tonality that tends to be quite dark. So there's a brightness to that resolution or faux resolution that I think is really interesting. So I digress. I've been thinking a lot about. AI music. I've been watching Adam Neely's most recent video on AI music, and I would like to acknowledge that what I'm doing here is not really AI music. There is a sense in which there are automations that allow for me to do the things that I'm doing. But also, let's be honest, I'm not really. I think maybe arranging is probably the best way to say what I'm doing. And there is a way that my skill and taste are working together here. But like the reason I'm using this kind of digital audio workstation type program is because I don't play an instrument well enough, plus have easy enough access to just do it all myself, right? Like I play guitar, I play bass. I don't have access to a guitar or bass right now that I can plug in. I could play a guitar like into the microphone, but meh. And I can kind of tool around on the keyboard, but I'm not a very good keys player. I'm a passable clarinet player, but I don't have a clarinet, right? Those are my limitations right now. So just acknowledging that, like, I'm doing something that I personally would consider interesting and creative, and not. It would be, the world would be poorer if the best people at music made music the way that I do this. I am relying on the skill of people who make these sounds and let me arrange them in interesting ways. So in a way, I'm sort of doing a really cool collaboration. And one thing that is exciting about tools like this is that I can collaborate with so many different people. And the danger is, how many of these people do I know their names? Will I ever know these people well enough to be able to thank them for their collaboration, right? So I think that's the danger, is the sort of commodification and the bitization, right? Like I can take that, right? Just Jetson made. I don't know if that's a person or I don't know. But like, I'll never know the person who did that. And there's something about that I think is an impoverishment of music making, but also one that we feel isn't by itself so much of a. It hasn't hurt the musical process or what music means so much by itself that it would make it awful that it happens, right? So anyway, what's syntharp? Let's tell them what key we're in. We're kind of, we're technically in E flat minor, so let's do that. That kind of gives us. That's not the tone we're going for at all. Nah. What is Elevation Blast Choir? I don't know. What's this about? Let's just hear it. Okay. I think we've lost something. Kind of lost a little bit of pace in that second half. What if I just split this up and then did that? Okay, that's kind of weird and spooky, and I like it. Yes, yeah, I really, really dig that. Very cool, very, very cool. So let's. I'm kind of feeling like a. That's another thing. Like, I feel really lucky that I, on a whim, just learned to beatbox halfway decently. I'm not at all saying I'm really good at it, but I feel like I'm good enough that I can represent the kind of sounds that I'm looking for. I did a cappella in college, and the guy who was our main vocal percussionist also was probably our best soloist for the first couple years. So we needed somebody who could, like, not just be lousy, like not just. So I worked pretty hard, and I'm really good at making sounds with my face and mouth, right? So I worked hard to be able to, like, and try to, like, represent. That's why I do silly hand motions with my hands, because it makes me, okay, what kind of sound am I trying to represent? What's the timbre, like what's the volume, right? But I feel fortunate that I just did that on a whim, because now I can kind of, like, how about some tasty bongos? No, thank you. So it's got a lot of, which is that hi-hat. Drums. Looking for, okay. No. No, I want double that. Double hi-hat. No, not basic open hi-hat. What are you, foolish? That's closer, but still not really what I want. Bubbling hi-hat. Nah, it's kind of it's a lo-fi jam. No, it's not. I mean, it is, but it's not what I want. No. What if I just went HH? That's closer. Meh. It's yeah, but I want something with, like, real light kick, right? So I can. I mean, I don't know. Let's give that a rip, because I could build a beat. Yeah, it's still got too much, and I want those subdivisions. Shout out to Ryan. And he, my buddy Ryan Bites, introduced me to that song. Ryan, what do we call him? Real Dog? We made up a goofy nickname, and he's like still in my phone as like Ryan Real Dog Bites or something. Yeah, I want that. Have her closer, but I don't know. Tops. I don't know. Talk to me about this, huh, Mr. Funky Boy? Nope. Oh, yeah. I just had a really wild, stupid idea. What if I recorded some? Like, what if I recorded it? I'm gonna try it. It's probably gonna sound like trash, but check. Allow this time. I'm gonna use my microphone. Okay. Okay. Tom, baby, you better. Okay. I don't know if that's going to sound any good. I don't know if that sounded horrible to listen to. I kind of sound like I'm burping. I'm not good at that sound. That's why it sounds bad, is because that's not one of my normal. But that's like what I wanted. Like I can make that sound to sort of like represent what I. And I also don't line up with the kit tops here. Yeah, well, it was worth a try. Like, why not? Let's have some fun. Ooh, Y2K sad. Let's see what kind of kick. Interesting. Let me hear what's going on here. I mean, that's okay, but it's hard for me to think about the snare and the kick independently of each other, so I'm not going to try to do that. Oh, hello? That could be nice. That's kind of similar to what I had in my mind. That look. Okay. I dig that. That rules. Oh, that's killer. I like that a lot. I think that's really, really cool. So let's fill that out. And now let's just start talking. Again, like, I generally don't write songs. This is... So in the Adam Neely video, he has a colleague who I think is actually his girlfriend, who is this brilliant... ancient. She does ancient ethics. I wish I could remember her name. Maybe I'll look it up really quickly while I'm talking about it. But she does ancient ethics, and they were having a conversation about like think I'm going to move this real quick. They were having a conversation about the ethics of AI and music and what craft is. And she was saying that for Aristotle and Plato, to not quite the same extent, but similarly, a craft or a techne is something that you do and you know the end result, right? Like a doctor isn't a doctor unless they know whether they're going to kill you or save you. That's the primary example that Aristotle uses. Plato uses a similar kind of idea, like with the doctor in the Gorgias, I think. But also, like, remember, Plato and Aristotle are not... I've sort of gotten good at Plato and Aristotle by osmosis, but Aristotle especially because I hate his guts. I don't know all the special stuff there, but I think the Gorgias is where Plato talks about this, among other places. You have to do a techne, you have to know what you're aiming at, right? If I, and this makes sense if you put it this way, I can throw a basketball into a hoop. I can even try to do it and sometimes get it. LeBron James is a basketball player because he knows that most of the time when he takes a shot, that basketball is going in the hoop. He has attuned his skills to that goal better than almost anybody else on the planet, right? Maybe I should have said like Steph Curry, somebody who's a good sharpshooter or whatever. I can shoot a basketball. Steph Curry's a basketball player, a shooter, right? In the same way, I'm doing something that I'm intending. Like I have an idea of the kind of sound I want. But also there's play here. And that's why, like, I think I'm doing something playful and not necessarily something that's a part of the craft of music. So again, not to say that like what I'm doing is illegitimate or that doesn't mean that I don't have skills or something. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm so bad at music, right? But I am saying that, again, if this were really talented music creation and production, music overall would be poorer. And that's because, like, I don't know, like this play that I'm doing, I don't quite know what's going to happen, but it is quite fun, right? So, gimme! Right, okay. So, like I said, let's start talking. Let's start finding some things that are going to have something to say. We're going to do that in the loops here. Let's try to find like a synth lead. Ooh! Oh, yeah! Oh, that's really good. That's really fun. I like that a lot. Yeah! Oh, I like that little syncopa. Oh, that's really good. That's so much fun. Okay, who else wants to have something to say? Nah. That's gonna change the mode there. Ooh. Interesting. Let's try this out. It's kind of got an abruptness to it that feels really fun. Ooh, it doesn't quite. It just feels a little chunky. Very close, very close. We tried it. Cowbell. Oh, that's not okay. Well, No, that's not the vibe I'm going for. Nope. Stop it. Brassicana. Hmm. Okay, you know what? What if I did something like this? And then put that was Brassicana lead 5. And then put 4 here on the end of it, because I kind of liked that. So let's go. You know what? I'm going to do a thing I did at a previous song. I don't remember if I did it on video or not, but I want to do this. Flip them up. Have a little. Yeah. Okay, love it. Also, I'm gonna copy this so that I can have this guy just kind of like live there on the end. Jonk at the jonk. Bip 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 bip. Let's do a little bit more talking. Who else wants to talk? Oh, you know what? Let's look for like a bass solo. No. Bass lead? What's it? Nah. I wanted to toast. Bass guitar. No. Well, okay. That's an 808. I don't want that. Ooh. I kind of like this bass electro. So let's go. Sometimes you can find, right? This is all in the same song, but now I can kind of mix and match them to get them to have a little conversation with each other, right? So, okay, so I'll split that up. Ooh. So it's bump, 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 bump. So it'll be like bump, 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 Let's try that. Okay, can I individually bring this volume up? No, so I might have to put these on 2 separate lines, because one is like mega loud. And one, hey, just go down here. What if you just went down here? What if you moved? Can I now put you there? Okay, let me try again. Deleted. What is this? Show instrument. What does that mean? No, okay. Do da 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 do ba ba da. I can't do that either. Okay. I'm still learning to use the thing. Sometimes I want to do a thing with... Okay, what is this, though? What is the instrument? Utility. Can I just have a utility? No, that's not it. Oh, I can do that, though. Okay. And then I want to bring this up a little bit. Okay, that's cool. Where are my loopies at again? Let's bring my loop library back. I want... I wish it didn't have that raised last note. Ooh, so... I did kind of like that. And then... which one did I say? Yeah! We can put that one on here, because that's... I like that one for this last little... And I need... Yeah, let's go. Okay, let's hear what this bass solo sounds like. Okay, so this one is just a repeat. I wanted something different. like that. Okay. Okay, so now I want just the organ and this to stay in, and then have like a bass solo kind of thing. I want to hear a boom. You know what? That could be really something like that. I wonder if I can write that. That'll be tough. Piano roll. Okay. Okay, so 8th, 16th. Boy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I need 8s. Do boom boo do 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 boom ba do 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 boom ba do 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 do. Okay, let's make sure that's... Whoops! That was twice as fast as I wanted. I messed up. Oh, criminy. Okay. Rats. This was the easy part. Boom. So we can go... Okay, so now that should be... I really like that, so I think I'm going to bring that back. So what I need to do here is turn this into a bass. Ooh, that's a good one. That could work well. And then bum, 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 ba-dum, yeah, I'm just gonna have to. And then everything's gonna come back in. Okay. Beep, 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 beep. I want this to be smaller. I realize that I can do these. Ha 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 ha! Could fit more in my life. Okay. This needs a lot more crunch to it. To kind of match, because I don't want it to be immediately apparent that these are two different sounds, even though, like, if you listen close enough, I think you'll be able to tell. So I just need a crunchier fat crunch. I don't know. Let's try that. Nice. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Three. Great. So I need. I didn't count right. Ah, poopy. No. Take me here. Take me here. I think that's it. Yeah, we wanted to just let that live. Because we're going to kick everybody back. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to... We're going to bring everything back in. Split it up. Split it. Ska. It's become a ska piece now. Yeah, and then we'll just kind of let it just glide on for another minute. And then we will... I'm a fan of fade outs because I don't know how to end songs, just like I don't know how to leave rooms. So we'll just... Okay. I dig this. Let's listen to it from the start. It's a little spooky. Yeah. That pops in just like I want. Mm-hmm. I like not having that hard hit back in. I like kind of just bringing it back in. That's nice. This is, yeah, I'm really happy with this one. This one's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, I'm really happy with that. So one thing I was thinking about it, like it has sort of like three distinct voices that talk to you, and the original song, like I said, that chord progression is from "A Prayer for the Wayfarer" is what that bit is called. It's just a little audio tag, just those three chords, and I was thinking like I want to pay homage to the original song. I'm doing something with that musical idea. And I like to reflect that in my titles. Again, because like I don't anticipate this turning into a legal battle. I really hope we don't live in that kind of world where Yasunori Mitsuda is like scanning the internet for all their music and be like, I hear this motif that I used one time and you didn't give me credit for it. But I like titles that are overly descriptive as well. So I kind of like the idea of like a Christmas Carol kind of thing. So three ghostly prayers for corporeal wayfarers. I like that. That really, I think, just sets you up to understand what the story is gonna do. Yeah, that was really fun. I'm really happy with this. I had a lot of fun with this bass soloing and kind of like chopping up and putting these little things together. I think that bass solo especially says something really, really expressive. And I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time on Pete Plays. Pete Produces. I'll see you next time on the channel, whatever that is. do I need an intro for this new series? Maybe.